Welcome to Supercar, the place where we uncover the truth about the latest rides. If you're a car enthusiast, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss out on our deep dives, reviews, and insider details. Now, let's talk about the Dacia Bigster 2025, a budget SUV that's making some big promises. Spacious, practical, affordable. But here's the real question. Does it actually deliver, or is there a catch? Dacia is known for no-nonsense budget-friendly cars, but with the Bigster, they're stepping into a tougher league. Competing with established giants is no joke. And in 2025, the SUV market is cutthroat. Every brand wants a piece of the action. So, can the Bigster stand tall, or will its flaws make you think twice before buying? Buckle up, because today we're digging deep into what Dacia doesn't want you to know. A look at the Bigster's exterior, rugged or rough around the edges. The Bigster's design is, to put it mildly, divisive. Dacia calls it robust and adventurous. Others might use less flattering terms. The boxy shape is functional, maximizing interior space, but it lacks the sleekness of its rivals. It's a design that shouts budget SUV from every angle. The front end is dominated by a large grille, flanked by headlights that wouldn't look out of place on a tractor. The plastic cladding, meant to evoke a sense of ruggedness, feels cheap and flimsy. The rear is equally uninspiring, with bland taillights and an exhaust pipe hidden away like an embarrassing secret. Dacia has attempted to inject some personality into the design with chunky wheel arches and roof rails. But these additions feel like afterthoughts, failing to mask the Bigster's fundamentally awkward proportions. It's a car that looks like it was designed with a ruler, lacking the curves and character of its more stylish competitors. Overall, the Bigster's exterior is unlikely to win any design awards. It's functional, yes, but also undeniably frumpy. In a market where style is increasingly important, the Bigster's looks could be its biggest downfall. It's a car that seems destined to blend into the background, rather than stand out from the crowd. Inside the Bigster, spaciousness doesn't excuse all sins. Step inside the Bigster, and you're greeted by a sea of hard plastics and cheap-feeling fabrics. Dacia has prioritized practicality over luxury, and it shows. The dashboard is a symphony of dull gray, with all the visual appeal of a public restroom. The seats, while spacious, offer all the comfort and support of a park bench. There's an abundance of headroom and legroom, both in the front and rear. The boot is also generously sized, swallowing luggage with ease. However, the lack of soft-touch materials and attention to detail undermines any sense of quality. It's an interior that feels built to a price, and it shows. Dacia has included a basic infotainment system, but it's slow, clunky, and frustrating to use. The touchscreen is small and unresponsive, and the menus are confusingly laid out. Even connecting your phone via Bluetooth feels like a chore. It's technology that feels outdated the moment you turn it on. The Bigster's interior is a study in compromises. Yes, it's spacious and practical, but it's also cheap and cheerful to a fault. The lack of refinement and creature comforts is disappointing, even at this price point. It's an interior that feels designed for short trips to the supermarket, not long journeys or family adventures. Section 4. Under the hood, enough grunt or just grunting noises? The Bigster offers petrol and diesel engines focusing on fuel efficiency. The entry-level petrol engine struggles with the Bigster's weight. Overtaking requires planning and space. The diesel engine is noisy but offers more torque. Fuel economy is respectable. The Bigster's weight and shape affect high-speed performance. The ride is agricultural. Suspension crashes over bumps. Wind and road noise are constant. The steering is vague and uncommunicative. The Bigster feels cumbersome in corners. It prefers a sedate pace. The driving experience is uninspiring. It's slow, noisy, and unrefined. Designed for budget travel, not fun. Focused on functionality, not engagement. Section 5. The drive handling the Bigster's big ambitions. Dacia boasts about the Bigster's off-road capabilities, but don't let the marketing fool you. While it handles light off-roading with relative ease, thanks to its generous ground clearance, anything more challenging will expose its limitations. The lack of sophisticated all-wheel drive systems and limited suspension travel means the Bigster is out of its depth when the going gets tough. On the open road, the Bigster feels out of its element. The steering is light and vague, requiring constant corrections to maintain a straight line. The suspension, while comfortable enough over small bumps, struggles to cope with larger imperfections, resulting in a bouncy and unsettled ride. The Bigster's size and weight are also apparent in corners, body roll is pronounced, and the car feels reluctant to change direction with any eagerness. It's not a car that encourages spirited driving. Instead, it's best to adopt a more relaxed approach and accept the Bigster's limitations. In urban environments, the Bigster's size can be a hindrance. Its large turning circle makes maneuvering in tight spaces a challenge, and the poor rear visibility necessitates reliance on the parking sensors. It's not a car that feels nimble or agile in city traffic. Section 6. The Bigster's big question: value for money or value for trouble? The Dacia Bigster's main selling point is its price. It undercuts most of its rivals by a significant margin. However, the old adage "you get what you pay for" rings true here. While the Bigster offers plenty of space and practicality, it compromises on almost everything else. The interior materials are cheap, the technology is outdated, and the driving experience is best described as uninspiring. Dacia has cut corners to achieve that low price, and it shows. The Bigster lacks the refinement, features, and overall polish of its more established rivals. It's a car that feels built down to a price, rather than up to a standard. While the Bigster's low price may be tempting for budget-conscious buyers, it's important to consider the long-term costs. The Bigster's fuel economy is respectable but not class-leading, and the lack of refinement means it's likely to depreciate quickly. The Bigster represents a classic case of false economy. While it may be cheap to buy, it's likely to cost you in other ways, whether it's through higher running costs, a lack of refinement, or simply the nagging feeling that you could have bought something better. Section 7. The final verdict: proceed with caution. The Dacia Bigster is a car of contradictions. It's spacious and practical, yet cheap and unrefined. It offers a low purchase price but compromises on almost everything else. It's a car aimed at buyers who prioritize value above all else. But is it good value? If you're looking for a cheap and cheerful runabout and you're not too fussed about refinement or driving dynamics, then the Bigster might appeal. It's a car that will get you from A to B without breaking the bank. However, if you value comfort, technology, or driving pleasure, then you're better off looking elsewhere. The Bigster is a car that feels like it's stuck in the past. In a world of increasingly sophisticated and refined SUVs, it feels like a throwback to a simpler time. It's a car that does everything adequately but excels at nothing. Ultimately, the Dacia Bigster is a car that you buy with your head, not your heart. It's a rational choice, not an emotional one, and for some buyers that might be enough. But for those who want more from their SUV, the Bigster falls short. Proceed with caution.